Hi there. So we are going to go over a couple of concepts and terms that we'll be learning in class in the next few days and some material that we'll be covering over the next few weeks for our lessons on ecological footprints. So the idea here is understanding how big our ecological footprint is and the impact that it makes on Earth. So our objectives for our lesson are the following. Define ecological footprint and what factors contribute to increasing the ecological footprint. Ecosystems, so understanding ecosystems and how humans impact the ecosystem. Sustainability, so we will go over that later in the slides, understanding sustainability and which systems and resources are used and how we can maintain them. Our next idea is really understanding and defining what an ecological footprint is. And so that is a measure of how much area is needed to support our lifestyles, how much land is needed to produce what we consume, and what is needed to clean up our waste. So here we have a kind of a concept map here to help show us that we have our demands here. So we have energy, settlement, timber and paper, food and fiber, and seafood. So those all come from natural resources. So forests, land, cropland and pastures, and fisheries. So really understanding how the ecological footprint is accounting and measuring on the demands in the supply of nature here. The next term that we'll be focusing on class is sustainability, which is everything we need to know for our survival and well-being, either directly or indirectly impacted on our natural environment. So we want to be able to utilize these natural resources and without destroying the ecological balance of the area. So maybe something like deforestation, how is that impacting the forest life and how is it impacting the environment? So in a quick tip, just something to get started on right away to help lessen our ecological footprint would be reduce, reuse, and recycle. The next idea is how we affect nature. So first I want you to pause the video for a minute and just brainstorm some ideas how we impact the environment. What are some things that you might do at home, maybe driving, how we commute, carpooling, those kind of ideas. How do you think they impact the earth? Take a minute and pause the video. Great. So I hope you are ready to explain your ideas in class tomorrow. And so continuing on, so affecting nature, so ecological footprints measure human demands on nature, which is what we will also be focusing on class tomorrow. And really understanding that everything we do has an impact on the environment. Sometimes it's not always seen right away. It can come up years later. So what can we do now to help out our earth and our environment later? So just another quick idea I want to mention, we're going to be making concept maps in class. So here's a few ideas I found on Google image search for ecological footprints, just a simple search. So take a look at the concept maps, get some ideas, use that creativity, think of how you want to create your concept map and what ideas you want to put in there. Again, we'll do this later in class. Just another idea about ecological footprints, about our lesson. So our overall lesson, we're going to be focusing on, calculating your ecological footprint and how that impacts the earth. But we're also going to be taking a look at other countries and creating a public service announcement or PSA to inform others about how they impact the environment. So just a quick look at this graph here, or this image, and comparing other states to countries. So based on the 2015 report, this image was found on Global Footprint Network. So California alone, we have the same ecological footprint as France does. And so as we see too around the top here, so all these states are the same as Italy. Brazil would cover this whole area, Germany, Japan, the UK, and Mexico. So just something to get you thinking. We will be comparing and contrasting in class the different countries, such as these that have the top ecological footprints, and what kind of puts them in that category. And lastly, I want you to start your research. So before you come to class, I want you to conduct just a simple search on ecological footprint and write down the results that you find. What are some interesting facts that you find? Maybe a new information that we haven't shared in this video. Again, just list those results and resources. The resources will help you later on, so make sure to please document those. That will help you further your research while we are doing our report and having classroom discussion. And lastly, just write a short summary about the resources, what you've learned so far, maybe something that interests you, and have that ready to discuss in class. All right. If you have any questions, please email me. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow in class for our lesson about learning how big our footprints are.